What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Onney, the CEO, and I'm back to bring you another fire, inspirational segment right here on Oustide the Box. In this season, we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing conversations with the queen. And the queen that I have on the show today is inspiring. She's uplifting. She has a very positive, high vibration, and we're discussing don't be the mean girl. So I need you guys to buckle up your seatbelts because you're now plugged in, tuned in, tapped in to Oustide the Box. Now today's segment hit home simply because no one wants to be labeled the mean girl. And as we grow and as we reach the peaks of the pinnacle of our success, sometimes we can't take all of our friends with us. So today's conversation is going to be about friendships, emotional intelligence, and how to grow past stigmas. So without further ado, I want you guys to give it up for Shabrittney.
Hi everybody, how are y'all? So amazing to be here in this. I was so kind of at first a little questioning when she contacted me. I was like, why me? All people, because I was like, oh, I don't call myself just a nobody, but I'll be like, oh, okay, because I don't like a lot of attention, and I also don't like I say this all the time, I don't like titles because I'm who God made me to be. I don't like no title. I'm here today because of God. Right. I don't want to be no preacher, no prophet, none of that. I am who God created. So I don't like titles. So I want to just thank you for having me on here because it's a big, big, big step for me.
Yes. Well, I actually came across your IG. And I saw you talking about, starting a podcast and the things that you were doing. I could tell that you were speaking about some things that you were already doing, but you were also speaking into existence what you see for yourself. And words have so much power. And I was like, man, that is such a positive vibe. And I would just love to have you and have some dialogue with you because when I went through your posts, how you were so positive, you were like body positive, you were like really just accepting yourself. And I'm like, man, that girl is exuding self-love. Let's talk about it. About it. So before we move any further, you actually have done work for many people. So even though we're not big on titles and all that, I still want to give you your flowers while you're here.
Thank you so much.
And I still want to give you a platform to shine on because you deserve it. And don't dim yourself down or water yourself down for nobody. So for those that are listening and those that are watching, can you tell us a little bit about your work?
So I started off doing celebrity assisting. My first celebrity that I started assisting, I came across one of my friends. She does it. And when she was doing it at first, I thought it was a little crazy. I was like, girl, are you making money, getting all these celebrities? She was like, no, but it's a good start to just, get around. So my first celebrity of helping her assist was Jameson. He's also my best friend. I know y'all see him all on my social media. Island Boy from Zeus Network.
Shout out Jameson.
Shout out Jameson. So he's one of the first ones. Then it was Farrah Franklin from Destiny's Child. Okay. That's she become my sister. And then I also cleaned up with LaToya Luckett. It was just a lot. And then I have to shout out my manager, Peter Allen. That's who got me to the point that I am right now of me. Every time he brings celebrities here for award, I assist them with makeup, a person that does their makeup, clothing, hair, everything. And so I just...
Let me find out I need to hire you.
I do. I get all that for him.
Yeah.
And he used me every year for this big celebrity party. It's an all-white affair. It's amazing. I done met so many celebrities in the last 2 years working with him. And it became a clutch to me, people started loving me because I have to be transparent. Like the love that I get now, I didn't get when I was a child. You know, I grew up. My real mom, I was adopted. So my real mom died when I was 12. But when I was a little girl, I was so much as like standoffish. Like my mom, she was a little hard on me. She was a church woman, so I didn't know how to show the love, you know, that I need to others. But I knew how. No, I didn't know how to receive the love from others, but I knew how to give to others, if that makes sense. So when I see all these people now, and I got amazing friends. Shout out to all my friends. I love every last one of them, like my sisters. But one of my friends, and I'm glad you said that. Like, how did you get like this? Because one of my friends just told me a month ago, I was like, I'm moving to Mississippi. And she said, Shabrittney, you can't move to Mississippi. Everybody love you. You got so many friends.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Marietta, I didn't have this much love at first, though. Yeah. It was because I got saved and I let God save me and heal me. And then I became this girl that saved other girls and let them know how to be a friend. And I showed them how to be a friend. And I loved them like a sister or a friend, or I wasn't a yes man to them all the time, telling them it was okay to do that when it's not okay to be doing that.
A real friend,
you know,
accountability partner.
Accountability partner. So when I would start being a celebrity assistant and want to act and stuff like this, I met so many beautiful people in the industry. I love them all the same. Jamison, like I said, he's one of my best friends. He has really showed me how to be a stand-up girl. Like, even if I don't make it in the industry, I am still famous to him, to me.
And you know what I tell you all the time, and well, not you, but I tell people all the time. Celebrity is only popularity. I know a lot of broke celebrities. I know a lot of broke celebrities, and I know some rich celebrities. And I prefer to be the celebrity behind the scenes.
Me too.
You know, I'm not looking for the, and to be honest with you, I don't even really care for the celebrity. I care for the purpose and the impact.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I want my vibe to attract my tribe. I don't want people to just be wild about
let me take a picture with you.
Who they think I am. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be hard too when you start to reach your goals. Sometimes you attract people. One thing about it is if you carry a light about yourself, people are attracted to you automatically.
And it's crazy.
And both people that are positive and negative are attracted to you. But you have to have discernment to know what to entertain. And that's where God comes in the mix with that. Because a lot of times when we suffer from mother wounds, we give the love that we want. And we never really heal the void that's within.
And I'm glad you said that, because when I was a little girl, I can imagine, I love sharing my testimony. It don't hurt no more. Y'all, want y'all to understand, like, when your testimony doesn't hurt, you can easily tell it without no hurt in your mind. It just don't feel the same, you know, when you're telling your story. When I was like a little girl, I didn't know my real mom until I was 5 years old. And when I got to know her, she died at 12, but she was mean to me. Like, you know, she was a church lady, but she was mean to me. And I remember, like, telling her, Mom, I love you. And she was like, I don't love you. You know, like, just being like a mean lady to me or whatever. And then I got older, because remind you, at 12 years old, I was molested. That's why I love telling my testimony, because it's going to help a lot of women. I was molested by my real dad, and I was so torn. That's another thing. Love supposed to come from God and your parents. Your parents never supposed to make you feel unloved and not sheltered all the time, you know. So I was molested, and it was to the point that I didn't know who to love, who to run to.
And also, you cannot even identify what love's supposed to be, because I too was molested, you know. And unfortunately, the people that you expect to protect you, when they don't provide that provision of protection, or they're actually the people that are abusing you, it can mess up your whole perception of what love is. And it can get to the point where you can get so used to chaos that you become so familiar with it that you find comfort in it. So when something comes that's calm, when real love show up, you can't recognize it because you've never really had it. And like, I'm 44 plus.
So good.
And it took me, I didn't realize that I was 38, how to love myself. You know what I'm saying? I went through what I call a dark night of the soul. And it wasn't until like my last bad relationship that I was just tired. And I kept, God, why I keep making these bad decisions? Why I keep getting these bad men? Why this keep happening to me? And it was really because I was attracting the same person in a different body bag.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I had not healed the wounds that was allowing me to entertain those type of people. And I had to take accountability in that moment and realize that the common denominator in all my bad relationships was me. That I allowed those men to treat me unfairly simply because I didn't even know how to love myself enough to have healthy boundaries to say, this doesn't sit right within my soul. And when you are, a lot of women don't talk about it, but when you have been molested or raped, especially by somebody that's supposed to provide provision and protection for you, you can deal with PTSD from that.
I did
You know
for
what
a
I'm
long
saying?
time.
I actually still do, which
Yeah.
is weird.
It's crazy that you just said that you still do, because my daughter, she's right there, but it's like yesterday she didn't get, her phone went dead. It was like so crazy. She was like, Mom, I'm on my way, but I'm really in my mind because I don't like her walking by herself. She's only 13. I know she's older, but I was molested early, so I don't like, if you're not my main man, you can't come around my girls. You can't be around them. You can't even, we're not playing daddy here because I don't know you like that. And I'm still dealing with trusting people, trusting men around my babies, because I was done like that, and I was trusting a man that was my father, and that he done that to me. And now God blessed me with a adopted dad. Oh my God, I love my dad. Shout out to my dad.
What's your dad's name?
Unity Shaheed.
Okay, shout out. We got to give daddy his proper so he can be like, look
daddy
at my
is a
baby girl.
phenomenal- My spiritual dad, Dr. Eric L. Brown, shout out to him too. Both of them have shown me what fathers look like how they nurture me, how they give me tough love, how they push me to my purpose, how they tell me the truth, how they love on me, it's so crazy. My spiritual dad told me 3 weeks ago, he said, next time you get in a relationship, make sure that man come talk to me. 'Cause I don't want nobody pulling you back to the world. It was so funny, but I just felt the love I need from a dad, because God placed those
And
men
I
in my
thank
life.
God for that, because I reunited with my dad when I was 21, because my parents, they didn't work out. And, I became a casualty of that situation as far as my dad not being able to come around. That was their personal issues, or why they decided that wasn't a good idea for me. However, I feel like if my dad was present or was allowed to see me, because even though he wasn't paying child support, that should not have been a deal breaker of him being able to be around. And I felt like the predator that molested me felt like he could simply because my dad couldn't come around.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so with my children, my two oldest kids, even though their dad wasn't the ideal father, I never put up a block for him to be able to see them or be active in their life, because sometimes we thinking we saving them from dysfunctionality,
but not.
But taking another parent out the household doesn't necessarily makes it a bad thing, because like my relationships with my kids' fathers, we weren't good for each other. Like my youngest son's dad, because I have two baby daddies.
Me too, baby.
My youngest, because I have two oldest, and then I have a younger son, and his dad is an exceptionally great dad. Okay.
Her dad.
And so, amazing. But even though he wasn't a good partner for me, I can't take away nothing that he does about taking care of his son. And he got multiple kids, and he right in the trenches with all of them.
Right.
So shout out to Mr. Manning. You know what I'm saying? And then shout out to my bonus mom, Janelle, too, his wife, because I love her.
Right.
So it really does take a village. Now, speaking of that, I do want to segue, because you did mention, shout out to your daughter. She's on set.
Yes.
Now, how many children do you have?
I have two. I have a 4-year-old. Shout out to Ivy. She's my 4-year-old. And I have London. She's 13.
Okay. Now, are you single or married?
I am single.
Okay.
I'm dating, though.
Okay.
I'm dating. I'm trying to really get in the point of dating, because I have to say this. I cannot let God down in this season with these men. And it's a lot of them trying to holler at me. They come out from even the celebrity base. I'll be like, what is going on, but I know the consequence with men now. Because when I was younger, I just let any man do anything to me. Like, me dealing with a man that was a whole producer, and he turned me down, to the white meat, So I had to get in a place where, like, dang, like, God, it was me, like you said, it was me, because you attract who you are. Like,
well, no.
You don't think so?
No. You attract both. If you're a light, you attract both light and dark.
Right.
So the unhealed version of you will entertain unhealthy. But the healthy version of you will have boundaries. That's the difference.
Okay.
So that's what I had to learn. Like, I really thought that it was something wrong with me. But no, girl, you attract the good and the bad. But it was certain principles that was put in my head as a young girl. Like, the man that molested me was my stepdad, and he was like 30 years older than my mama. He dead now, but he was quote unquote. I was gonna kill him, so God saved me from going to jail. Oh, wow. So you know what I'm saying? Because that was like literally as a young girl, I was like, as soon as I turn 18, I'm gonna kill him. Yeah. And that's so sad that I had
that's your feelings, though.
But that's how I felt, and him and my mom broke up, and I think he found out in like April he had prostate cancer.
That is,
pancreatic cancer. He had pancreatic cancer, and he died like within a month of finding out that he had cancer.
It's crazy. We have the kind of same testimony, because my dad that molested me died a couple of years ago, and he died of cancer. But when on his deathbed, he really wanted me. He wanted my sister and them, because I knew my older sisters them, but I didn't on my daddy's side. Like, I only knew one brother. And he wanted to tell me he's sorry, but before I could get there, and this is crazy how God works, and that's why I love God so much, because God hold me accountable to forgive that man. But I lied to my spiritual mother. Shout out to Dr. Mimi Brown. I know you see her a lot on my page.
Okay, yeah.
I post her a lot, because she is one of the big impacts of my life. She's how you a lot of older women, and I get this all the time. They attach to me only because I didn't have it as a kid. So God has put so many women like you, Dr. Mimi, my mother, like other women of God in my life to like show me what a testimony look like, if that makes sense. Like for real.
Like I am the poster child to becoming successful in the face of adversity. If you knew my story, that's why I tell people, like, if you knew what I really had to get through to get to where I'm at, you wouldn't have envy, jealousy, you would despise me, you would clap for me, you would run a lap for me, you would praise God for me, just knowing that I overcame.
You'll be making sure that I won't stop. You
Correct.
know, yeah, and it's a lot of stuff. And so when she asked me, she was like, Shabrittney, I want you to go forgive your dad. And I'm like, I lied. I said in church, I was like, Dr. Mimi, I forgave them. And when he died, I was screaming and crying, and they was talking about lying in church. You know when somebody talking about you. I went up there and I told her, I said, Dr. Mimi, I lied to you. I didn't forgive him. And she said, daughter, I know you didn't.
Listen, when the man that molested, when he died.
I know you did.
Oh, baby, I was hooping and hollering at his funeral. And it's so sad because people really thought I was crying.
But you was
because
happy.
I was sad. But I was crying because I felt like he got away easy.
Oh, wow.
I felt like him dying was him getting away easy. He never had to pay for what he did to me.
But he did.
But, you know, in my mind, I was a kid still.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I was preteen. And I was just mad that I never got a chance to
get him back.
To take my power back. But God said, vengeance is not for me, it's for him.
He said, though they slay me.
Yeah.
Though they slay me, because we get around. That's why when you said the mean girl thing, I was okay with that, because I just said, you know, I was like, I don't know how women could be jealous of little old me and talk about me, slang my name.
We finna talk about that. We finna go into that. Now, before we move into that, I do want to talk about now your mother. Okay. You're a single mom, and you assist all these different people. How do you balance your career and your motherhood?
Okay, so shout out to their godparents, because they's amazing godparents. They usually have them all the time. at first I didn't have this at all. I used to be like, I have to, well, who gonna watch my kids and stuff like that. And then God sent these amazing people in my life to nurture my kids, where I go out and just soar
And grow.
and grow. And it did it to the point that it didn't. I mean, it's a little bad side on this part. It did it to the point that I questioned my motherhood. I started neglecting my kids, like, because it was so big for me at the moment, if that makes sense. And I can be honest, I was not seeing them as much.
Let me give you a little word. Mom, I love you if you're watching. When I first started doing poetry, now I was a single mom of 3 kids. I was in between marriages. And for my outlet, I started performing at it was Pisano's, and it was a shadow board, and it was a poetry lounge. Shout out to all my poetry fam. But back in 2000, I started performing, and I would only go out on Sundays. Okay. And I had somebody else to keep my kids. Shout out to the Sam family. From 6 to 10 on Sundays. That was like my little 4-hour window. I'll get out and go out, do poetry, have a drink at the bar, still be home by 10 o'clock type of deal. Because I had to go to work on Monday, right? The kids had to go to school, but that was my outlet. And so my mom made me feel so bad. Like, oh, you need to be at home with them kids and you out in the poetry lounge. And now I get paid $1,500 to go spit poetry.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? I've opened up for comedians. I've traveled all around the country. I've put out albums. My poetry and my music has been featured on multiple soundtracks. That poetry motivated me to write a book. She told me, you need to be focusing on them kids, not a book. Wrote the book under my own publishing. Now I've published over 15 authors right here in Houston through my publishing company. But if I had to listen to my mom projecting on me what I should have been doing, and if I would have really took it to heart and felt bad for taking that 4 hours to myself, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because every step catapulted me into a different step. Now, it's not that she didn't want to see me grow, but she could only give me advice from her experience in life.
And it was crazy that you said it, because my best friend, Marietta, she was like, Shabrittney, you need to get your kids. You need to really, Shabrittney, I understand you get so much help. I wish I had the help you had. But she was like, you need to spend time with your girls. She was lacking in school. She was getting in trouble. My little baby, every time I leave, she'd be like, make sure you come back, Mom. Like, it was like to the point that I felt empty and I felt wrong, because when I was a child, I was left behind. I didn't know my real mama until I was 5. And I was like, I don't want my kids to feel unloved like how I was. That's wrong of me being selfish. I don't never want my kids to feel like that. So I began to, and I just moved out. I was staying with their godparents. We was all staying together. But I just moved out with them to start a new journey with just me and my babies. And now my baby is old enough. When I go, she's old enough to keep her little sister. And when I do stuff, if they want to go somewhere, she'll go to my spiritual sister house. And my little one, she'll go to my other spiritual sister.
Now, we'll tell you, that was something I had. That's what got me to get someone else. Like, my son, my oldest son that's 28 now, he had to be about 15, maybe 14 or 15. So he was the oldest. So he was technically old enough to kind of watch his younger brothers. But one day I came in and he was in his room and he just broke down crying. Yeah. And he was like, Mama, it's too much. And I realized that it was not his responsibility to babysit my kids.
That's why I don't, and I'm so happy that she's so mature to know that. I tell Ivy all the time that it's not your mama. Do not do London like that, because London is my child. I'm still her mama. You still my baby. When I leave, she'll tell you right now, because I get on to, I tell a lot of people this right now. Do not make your little baby your child's baby. That's wrong.
Yes.
That's being selfish. Well,
that's a traumatizing thing, because what ends up happening is not only do they end up resenting you, because they didn't ask for to be a baby mama. You know what I'm saying? They still enjoying their childhood, but they resent the sibling.
Right.
Because now they didn't ask for this responsibility, and you start putting those responsibilities on them, and it kind of can change the dynamic of how that child feels.
And she told me how she felt before.
You're not even allowing them to be kids because you're giving them adult responsibilities.
She broke down and told me that she missed me, that I'm always gone. Mom, we never see you. And it was like, I was like, well, London, I'm trying to get this name. I'm trying to do this and that. But at the time, I was like, you know what, God, none of this stuff matters. My kids matter. And I got girls, and me being lost in the sauce growing up and not knowing, trying to figure out who I really am and stuff. I don't want my kids to be like that, and they won't be, because I show them so much love.
And I give you your kudos for taking accountability of the areas that you still are growing in. Because let me tell you something, there's no handbook on how to be the perfect parent. I have 3 kids that are 28, 25, and 20. They're all 3 different kids, 3 different personalities. None of them really think the same.
They
don't dress as boys.
Oh, okay.
All boys. But, you know, you still have to have the same concerns for boys as you do for girls, because a pedophile don't give a damn about if you're a girl or a boy. As long as you got a hole, they will still take. So because of what happened to me, I was hyper vigilant in making sure I protected them from those things. But I was so worried about protecting them from molestation that in certain areas in parenthood that I may have dropped the ball in, because I was worried about this, but forgot about nurturing this part of the situation, because nobody taught me. I was a mother before I was a woman. Hell, I had a baby at 16 and pregnant at 15. What do I know about being grown up?
Right.
So it was really on the job training type of thing, and I wasn't trying to get rid of my kids, and that really was my kids saved my life. I'm gonna be honest, because the girls that I was running with when I was young, they kind of ended up taking a different path. And maybe if I didn't have my son when I did, I might have been on the same path with them.
And
I don't
crazy.
know.
My mom told me when I was a little girl, I used to want to play with this little girl all the time. And I didn't get to play outside like the other kids. Shout out to the church girls, because I'm a real church girl. I didn't get to play outside with the other kids. I was a church girl for real. And my mom didn't let us go spend the night at people's house like that. Like, she sheltered us. So this was this little girl. She was like my best friend when I was a little kid, and I always wanted to be her friend. But my mom was like, she's gonna be a little fast little girl. Her mom just let her go. This girl got 10 kids right now. She's 34 years old. But I just thank God for my mama telling me that though, because yes, because right now that lady, that woman, and she's a pastor now. I thank God for her. Like for real, I be seeing her life, and it's like God changed her. But I see her life, and I be like, well, my mama said that, and this is why I'm in the place I am now, because I listened. I obeyed. Even when I didn't want to obey, I still obeyed my mama.
Now, let me ask you this, because speaking of the mean friends, because I do want to get back to the topic of don't be the mean girl. Okay. And a lot of times when you've been through the childhood traumas that we have been through, sometimes it can make us the mean girl, or it can make us overgivers to where we put up with mean girls. So I'm an introvert. A lot of people don't know, because they look at my social media and they be like, oh, Onney everywhere. She doing everything. But really, I love my bubble. I love my quiet. And I'm not the type of friend that'll call every day. I'm not the type of friend that texts you every day. I don't have a high maintenance friendship. I can go 2-3 weeks, months, years without talking to you. And then when I do talk to you, it's like we never left off. You know what I'm saying? But it's some friendships that where they like, well, she ain't called me, so I'm not going to call her. And she ain't checked on me, so I'm not checking on her. You know, it's like almost like like a score keeping, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like if I have not heard from you, that is not the time for me to feel some type of way about it.
Not all the time.
That's the time. No, not ever.
Not ever, you're right.
Because life is lifing. And just like you feel like life is lifing for you and you need to be checked on, life is lifing for me too.
Right, I need my space.
And I need to be checked on sometimes too. Right. And it might not be, and calling you every day might not be my love language. You know, all my friends that know me, that's been friends with me for years, they know that they might call me and say, hey, Onney, I'm having a party, I'm having a ladies' night, or I'm having this event. I want you to pull up. You're invited, and I'm not coming. Because I'm working. I got 4 jobs. But then if they say, Onney, if they call me, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning. Onney, I need you. Drop the location. It's a difference between saying I want you and I need you, because that tells me that there's a level of priority there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to let you use that need word and cry wolf, because then I'm going to get on your ass. Don't tell me you need me and I pull up and you just really want to see me because I got other stuff going on.
Right.
However, but if you my real friend, I'm going to be your friend whether I don't talk to you for periods of time or not. So when you hear women that are petty like that. They be like, oh, well, you ain't called me, so I ain't calling you. What is your take on that?
I really think that's not a friend.
No.
That's not a friend. I just was talking about this. I put it on my status on Facebook because you have people have lives. We all grow apart in some type of area. I have and I love all of them. I love Tracy. I love Marietta. I love Val. I love Taisha. These are my 4 best friends and my little Ebony. These are my friends. Now listen, I don't talk to Ebony every day. I don't feel bad about that. Ebony has a job. She's a school teacher. She's got her other life. I don't talk to Val every day. Val work at night. I know she's a loner. She likes to be in the house. She likes to sleep all the time. I don't talk to Tracy every day. She has a husband, a family. She got stuff to do. I talk to Marietta every day.
Now, have you ever been married?
No, I desire it though.
You desire it though. So, how's your relationships with your kid's father?
I don't have baby daddy drama. You know why? Because I'm not a bitter baby mama. I don't want to.
Come on now.
I don't.
We not selfish baby mamas around
we
here.
We not. I'm not a bitter baby mama. Listen, I'm not messing with him. I don't want to mess with him. It's no shade, no tea, but I don't want to. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna get it to these other baby mamas. Okay?
Now you were just telling us about your friend group and how much you love them, and having a supportive peer group is so important, okay? Because you guys can lift each other up. You're not competing with each other.
No.
You check in with each other, and it's authentic concern.
This is the part of my friend group because I didn't used to have this type. I done had girls get mad at me, go on social media, put all my business out on social media. I done had girls sleep with my man behind my back, told him what I was doing. Cause make this clear, I used to be a bad girl, and I done tell people this all the time. Some of the relationships I had, the men didn't never do nothing to me. It was me.
Yeah.
I done cheated on him with his friend. No, I'm just being realistic.
Yeah.
This is my testimony. I can tell it. I done probably slept with his friend. Didn't want him just because of what I've been through as a kid. So when I used to hang with friends, they done so much to me. And I have been around sisters that I call sisters that said they was my sisters, but they talking about me to another person. And then I'm like, okay, I'm showing loyalty to y'all even when y'all do me wrong. I'm not going on social media and stuff like that. And now when I really, really find out what a real friend is when I read the book of Esther, because she reminded me of me in the Bible. And she taught me how to like really, really, really ignore what's not God. Like if they...
And you have to also know when to draw a line versus influence versus envy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because your friends are going to pour into you. You're going to influence them. They're going to influence you. They're going to be accountability partners. They're going to help you get to the next spot. Envy comes with more like a monitoring spirit. With more like, girl, what you got going on? What you working on? What you doing this? And that's when the competition starts.
I just had a friend. I don't know if we friends or not, but I just think we not. I think it's just because
whatever you feel right here, that's your truth. Yes. That's your second brain telling you.
I don't believe we friends no more. So she said, well, it was like more or less like, I don't love her or I don't never go nowhere with her and stuff. And I'm like, well, the times that you do ask me stuff, like you said, I have things to do, actually that's important than me going and go do that, you know what I'm saying? And so I look at it like this, and you just asked me about the mean friends. Like, if you cannot understand my space, you're not a friend. Right. You're being selfish. That's being
now,
very...
Shout out to RBC. They know who they are. My girlfriends. We normally travel and do stuff.
You're actually, if you always got to say, well, girl, you don't call me or nothing, you don't check on me or nothing, you being selfish to my time and what I got with God and my kids.
Yeah. And that's what I appreciate about my girlfriend group. We used to travel every 3 months out the country or every month to a different city in a different state. But since I started growing my businesses and building my talk show and building my studio and building my CMOS company, of course, I can't go to everything. I can't be everywhere. I'm in the trenches right now.
You can't even be in different places.
Yes. So now they understand. And they still invite me every time. Thank God for the friends that still invite you even though you don't show up. Because it be hit or miss, but sometimes I'll make it and sometimes I won't. But then you have those friends that invite you to stuff, and because you don't come, they don't invite you to nothing else.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't come to my stuff, so
I'm not going to her stuff.
I ain't going to her stuff.
And they don't realize, the whole time you might be going through a whole storm. You might.
It took a lot of people to support me in this situation. Like at first I didn't have no supporters. I asked God. God started sending strangers to me.
Well, He will.
For real. That support me. But my friends, my main friends, they support me to the fullest. I love every last one of them, even my spiritual sisters. I have like 3 spiritual sisters that I love the most. Shout out to Taisha. Like, she's amazing. Like, I can't question nothing she got going on because she loves me unconditionally. Like, it's like she's my real sister or something. You got Marietta, like, she's like, because all my friends are different, so I treat them different. Like, Marietta is my friend that, hey, we can do dirt together. We can talk about everything. We can go here. Hey, listen, let's talk about this and that.
Now, quick question. So, when you go into other girl groups, because I'm sure as you're growing, you're meeting people, and let's talk about knowing when to end the conversation.
So cool.
Gossip is not where you want to be. No. So, I'm the type of girl. I'm not a mean girl, but if I'm into a group and everybody is talking about low vibrational things or they're discussing problems that somebody else that's not at the table. No, girl, I take the church finger. I'm gonna leave the conversation. I'm gonna gracefully bow out because it's not my battle to fight, number one. And I'm not gonna insert myself in something that don't involve me. However, I am gonna remove myself from the environment that could potentially involve me later.
It's crazy. Shout out to Dr. Mimi because I was in tears the other day and I shared something with my spiritual mother because I was just like, I'm just tired of people being mean to me. Like, I love people. Like, I love to see women grow and stuff. And people will look at me and they'll be like, oh, she thinks she's all that because I stay pretty.
Well, first of all, no. It's okay to think you all that, but when people tell you or say that, oh, she thinks she all that, it took me 38 years to realize. People were saying that I thought I was all that because they thought I was all that. And people was envious of me because they saw my light when I didn't even recognize that I had a light. Right. And the crazy part about it is people would befriend me because they saw the light in me or they saw where I was going based on whatever I'm posting. Even though I didn't see the bigger picture because I didn't know I was going to be here today. Right. But they would attach themselves to me, befriend themselves, become friends, and then basically turn on me. And I would be like, well, but why me?
What did y'all do?
I'm just a lover of people. I just want to help people. I just give people their flowers. No. The discernment is it was forced anyway. Because you get the red flags. You feel it when it's off. But you want to give people the benefit of the doubt.
For confirmation.
Yeah.
Because you can feel when people do not like you. Yeah. I get tired of people saying, well, no, they don't. Yes, you can feel when people don't like you, when they don't talk. You can feel it when they talking about you when you come in the room. You can feel that.
Yeah, because the room will get quiet or you'll get those looks or the whispers will start happening. There she go. You know what I'm saying? You know when people talking about you.
Know
now,
that.
you can sit and pretend that you don't because it's easier for us to suppress those red flags because we don't want to deal with the trauma that it's going to bring to realize that the people that we attach ourselves to don't really love us. But the sooner we come to grips with that and the sooner we stand in our truth and realize that we're in an environment that's not aligned with who we are, the faster we can grow and God can send positive people into our lives that can fill those spaces. But you got to make room for those positive people to be there. If you're surrounding yourself with negative people, the naysayers, the people that, you can't tell big dreams to small-minded people.
You can't.
You know what I'm saying? And then another thing, you can't share everything with your friends. You have to compartmentalize your friends.
And I thank God for you when we was on the phone because I can't tell y'all the name of my podcast. Thanks to some. Let me stop. But I have a thing of just telling. I'll be so excited for big things. I'll be like, let me tell them this and that. And I'm in a season where God has my mouth shut for people just to see what's going to go on. Mm-hmm. Like, they about to just see me right now. I'm not going to tell them anything because I have learned that people get jealous when the light is on me.
Yeah, but you know, some people come to grab the fruit, not water the tree. You have to understand that. And so sometimes people they start with you because they expect to get some type of gratification, or it's almost like you have that, it's an entitlement thing. It's almost like if I encourage you to start a podcast and I'm with you from the beginning of your start. Now I'm encouraging you because I really want to start one, but I don't believe in myself enough to do it. So I'm encouraging you to do it, right? So then you start and you start to grow and you start to get big. And I'm like, well, that was my idea.
Right.
Okay, great. It was your idea, but you didn't put in no work.
Right.
I did. But it's an entitlement. Like, you're supposed to give them some type of credibility because they gave you an idea and you actually worked towards it when they could have did the same thing in the same 24 hours you had. You know what I'm saying? And people always get mad at other people doing what they do. First of all, ladies, cut the shit. Cut it.
Right.
If you have friends or associates that come into your life and they want to mirror you and be like you and do what you're doing, don't take it as a slight. Take it as, I'm doing my job. Because if you really are moving in purpose and your mission is to uplift,
other people,
inspire, and motivate, then I'm going to help you get to the finish line with me because I'm not in competition. It's collaboration over competition over here.
Right.
And if we can't build together, we can't chill together. Period. Boyfriend, girlfriend, business partnership, it don't matter who you are in my life. And not saying that the building always have to be monetary, because I have spiritual friends. I have people that I can use as a sounding board for business ideas. I have people that I travel with, and they all are in their own different compartments because I have to know what friend group, my A, B, and C friend groups. You understand what I'm saying? But it's collaboration over competition, but unfortunately, everybody don't get that.
No, I done had people like be my friend just because what I can do for them. Like, I let you stay with me, I let you do this, and then you end up.
I've been there.
Like, you end up like tearing me down, and I done gave you a place to lay your head, and I'm the one torn down.
Stop.
And, yeah.
Stop. You know what I'm saying? And pray for God to send you reciprocal relationships. Pray for God to give you discernment, and just stop being a people pleaser and stop overgiving, because a lot of times we just give the love that we really want ourselves, and start pouring that love back into yourself. You can start doing that by just journaling how you feel and just really having that oneness with yourself. And date yourself, girl. I dated myself. I stayed single for 4 years before I got into another relationship. And I dated myself. I did date other people because I was collecting data, and it was some people I sat across the table from, and we out of the expensive, exquisite restaurant. I didn't care. I knew I wasn't gonna never sit across the table from them again, because you know, they would lead with money, or they would lead with who they used to be or what they used to do. I don't want to hear about none of that. I want to hear about what you got going on today. So, you know, a lot of times
ladies, in this season, don't no woman want a broke man.
But hold up, first of all, I ain't trying to be funny. Date in your tax bracket.
Right.
Don't, because you might not want a broke man, but don't be broke looking for a rich man.
Right.
Have your shit together first, because I think that's so biased, because we're in a different society now.
Right.
Women have women's rights. We have equal employment opportunity. We have all these rich female CEOs. So it's sometimes going to be uneven where the woman does make more than the man. But there's a lot of women out here following the social media trends of he have to have this, and this.
They can't take you to this restaurant.
First of all, you living at home with your mama. You sleeping on the air mattress. You behind on your car payment, but you expecting somebody to be able to come in and Captain save you.
And take you from all that.
Save yourself, because you have nothing to bring to the table but open legs.
And sometimes you ladies, like, you just can't be tearing men down all the time. That's not cool. That's why some of us haven't got the Boaz we need. And I'm speaking for myself, because I used to be like that. Like, if you wasn't a certain man type of man, and I'm gonna talk about that because it was one point in time I just dated married men. Thank you, God, for saving me.
Yeah.
No, for real. That's all I desired was a married man because I was happy they went home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't want to buy me. I was glad the money was good. The time was good. My household was good. Everything. But my mental wasn't good. My heart wasn't good. And I was still lonely.
Mm-hmm. Because you know when you engaging with married men, you really invite the Jezebel spirit into your home.
I had a strong Jezebel spirit with that because that's all I attracted was married men. I had one time, I told one of this woman of God, she asked me, she was like, "What is one of your best relationships?" This is when I was in the world. I was like, "A married man," because in my mindset, that's all that I attracted was married men. And
that's crazy because you said that because one time I was in a relationship and the relationship I found out he was cheating on me, but the gag was he treated me better when he was cheating on me.
Wow.
Ain't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So I look back on it, I'm like, oh, so when you was all super in love and love bombing me and buying me gifts and taking me on trips, you was actually cheating? But now that the cat's out the bag, now
you don't want to do it no more.
Now you breadcrumbing?
Right. I was done like that to the point that
sometimes they treat you better when they cheat. That's a sad thing.
It was so. I told somebody because they was like, Shabrittney, my mom, my godmom told me. She said, Miss Latidra, shout out to Miss Latidra. She said, God got a special place for people that sleep with married men. I was like, well, I love him. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm in love with him. I don't know what you gonna do, how you gonna do it, but I love him. Mm-hmm. That is my man. That's our man.
Yeah.
And the time, and I can speak about this because it have saved me to this day. When I finally left that man, he was more into me than I was into him. I'm thinking I'm more in love with him. Mm-hmm. It was him. Like, I did things that his wife didn't do. Mm-hmm. Or I got up, I did this and that. And then you get me now. And then when you find out I get with my child's father, it's F me, this and that. Like you said, it's no more of that. Mm-hmm. Like you didn't really boot the bell. You done stopped all your goodies now because you done got with another man.
Now, speaking of that, because you talked about how you dated married men, that was your thing. Mm-hmm. So I want to segue into insecurity because insecurity is loud. Mm-hmm. It's loud without saying a word. And, subtle cues that although we are invited, you might not be welcome and you understand that it has nothing to do with you. So let's just say you're invited to a session, a party, a group, whatever, your friend girls or a girl group that that you're getting acquainted with. Friend might be a little bit too early to call that. But the people, when you get in that room, you know that you're not welcome. Have you ever been in that situation where you were invited?
Just 2 weeks ago.
But they were really hoping that you didn't come, but the minute you walked in, it was like, oh,
shit. Just 2 weeks ago.
What's she doing here?
Just 2 weeks ago. I be knowing when groups of girls don't like me. It could be my sister friends, my friends' friends, my homegirls.
And what do you do in this situation where you're invited?
I sit there, held my head up high, and eat my food. Okay. And drink my drink, because baby, listen, if it's not direct, it's not corrected. Like, What can you really do to me? You know what I'm saying? You just making it better for me. I'm being a bigger person. I know you don't like me.
So what do you think are some of the challenges in finding like a good friend in this season? Because we both girls.
We are. Mm-hmm. So I think praying for your friend, helping her, building her up, pouring into her on a daily, like allowing her to know who she is in God first, because that's the key. I think people get it mixed up, elevating God and just saying, I did this on my own. No, God healed you to be that person. Mm-hmm. So you need to understand that when you have a friend or a person you call sister, you pour into her what God did to you. And that's what I do. I pour into all my friends. Now one of my friends, shout out to all of them, could tell you I text their phone with gossip about somebody's business or anything. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Every morning I wake up, good morning, I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing, good day.
Now, what are some of the challenges that you've had? Because you have good friends, but you had something you had to throw back in the water.
Well, my challenges was me not being there, because I also can say I wasn't a bad friend, but I was, because
if you was a bad friend at the time, it's okay to admit that.
Because and I'm gonna say it like this, not as sleeping, talking about them behind their back, but not being responsible for a friend. Like if somebody say something about her, instead of me telling her, I'll walk off because I don't got time for that. Because I used to think, okay, is she gonna tell me if somebody talk about me? Yeah. I wondered a lot, you know.
Well, that's kind of like a tricky situation because it really depends on the friendship, you know. Because I've been in situations where I was somebody else's friend, but they weren't my friend.
So that's how it was with me and a girl, and I felt like she was so much my friend.
And you got to be mindful. Triangulation doesn't just happen in romantic relationships. Triangulation can also happen in friendships. I don't mix my men and my friends, and I don't mix my friends and my friends.
And see, this is the thing. I got a little boo that, you know, I talked to or whatever, and we were dating, and I thank God for him, but I always say this, I'm not going to, whatever me and my friends talk, my man would not know. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever me and my man...
That's the worst thing to do. Yeah, like, people talk with you and your girls talk about your man.
You're not going to do that.
As soon as y'all fall out, he going to bring up, she a hoe anyway.
Yeah, talking bad about it. But hey, listen, don't talk about my friend. That's my friend.
Yeah, but if you didn't give him the bullet, he couldn't shoot the shot.
Yeah. Okay. So, and a lot of friends have did that to me with their men because I am the daredevil. I used to do it. I done did all my friends done did because I done did it. Yeah. And I used to go, we used to club all the time. I'm twerking everywhere. I'm all over the place. Me and my friends and I used to be that girl. So the men did not never want them to go with me because I never sit down. Like, I never had a husband. I never just had a permanent boyfriend. I was a type of person like, nigga, I don't want you. Like, leave me alone.
So let me find out you was a bad influence before you got healed.
I was a good friend, but bad influence.
Let's talk about unaligned friendships. Because as you grow and as you start to develop self-love and self-worth, and like you say, a lot of things that you entertain and that you did in the past, you wouldn't do it today because you're not that version of yourself anymore. But it also leans over into the friendships that we have as women, because as we grow, our taste in friendship circles also change.
Yeah, I don't want to hang with the ghetto girls. Just I don't want to do that.
I'm a little bougetto.
I am too. Like, I
like the bougie, the soft life. I can go from Hollywood to hood in 0.3 seconds. And if you cross me, I will remind you what side of the street you need to get the fuck on. Excuse my French. You're supposed
to always keep it holy and cute, but I'm half hood, half holy. So if you push me,
half hood, half holy.
If you push me to that point, girl,
I'm not a killer, but don't push me.
Yes, I don't have time for it. But you said something when you said that my spiritual mother, shout out to her, girl. After I leave here, I'm going to her event. Okay. So she taught us how she teach all her mentors, her mentees. Sorry about that. Her mentees and her spiritual daughters, how to balance like friendships. Like she tell us all the time. She tell me all the time. I just was crying to a girl before I came over here like 3 days ago. She was like, "Why are you crying over people that sit on the sideline?" Like, I wouldn't care if they didn't like me or not. Yeah. Like she gives me that all the time. Like even when I have cried about her old friend, she'll be like, "Shabrittney, in this season, God don't want you to have friends." And I went through that season when my friends didn't talk to me. And that's how I got to this point right now, because I didn't have no friends.
Well, healthy boundaries to change your circle of friends. Yeah. Number one, because I went through a season of lack at one point. And it was, and I'm one of the people that I never tell people what I'm really dealing with, because I don't like the woe is me. I don't like all of that. And I was always the giver, the people that can call when they were late on their light bill or couldn't pay enough for their rent, need to borrow some money that they was never intending on really paying back, whatever. But I had hit a season of lack to where I didn't have it, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to hustle it up. And I didn't go around begging people, but the people that was used to begging me, when they came and asked me to do certain things and I said no, and the crazy part is I was hurt from saying no because I really wanted to help. Yeah. But when I said no, I got to see how they really felt about me. Oh, you think, you driving the Benz and you living in a big house and you can't help me. And first of all the Benz is a bill.
It sure is. And I done helped you plenty of times.
Yeah, I done helped you. So this one time that I can't help you, meanwhile, during that season, I had broke up with my ex-husband because he was living double life. and he had basically used me up. And I had went into my living room, my kitchen, and I opened my refrigerator, and it wasn't nothing in the refrigerator but water bottles. So I took a picture.
Wow.
So I took a picture of the refrigerator empty. And I carried that picture around on my phone for months, and people were like, "Why you got this? Why you holding on this picture?" And I held on to the picture so it could remind me of where I never want to be again.
Wow.
And while I was in that season where I could barely feed myself, my friends weren't there for me. My phone was dry.
Right.
I couldn't show up for other people, but I also didn't have nobody to show up for me in that season. Thank God I've been delivered from that season, and it's still, apparently I still need some healing done.
Tears, though.
But
it's happy tears.
Yeah, because I'm not there anymore.
You're not
but
there no more.
That was a very pivotal moment for me to realize I need to change my friends up.
Right.
I need to cut some family off.
Oh my
because
God,
they were
let's talk about
takers.
family.
They were takers, and I couldn't give. And when I couldn't give, I couldn't function in their life anymore. My function that they had me there for, I couldn't function for them. And so it was a very lonely road. But when I came out on the other side, it was almost like the trash took itself out. People showed me who they really were in my season of darkness. So now when I share my fruit with people, I have a better discernment of the fruit I'm sharing. I'm sorry, y'all, I got emotional.
That's all right, because I've been holding my tears.
I'm a cry baby. Now, you have walked into your self-love. You have walked into your self-worth. You have walked into your purpose. You have started really living your dream, working with celebrities, assisting, making things happen. What have you seen positive take place in your life since you took that step towards and getting closer with God as well?
I'm going to say this, me being a better mother. Jameson is like one of my, and people, when they look at us, they'll think Jameson is my husband, but he's not.
I know, girl. I was like, is that her boyfriend? Is that her man?
Jameson is my boy best friend. He is a friend.
We all need them.
Huh?
I said we all need them.
He's one of those type of friends that hold me accountable, tell me the truth. He even tell me which man I need to talk to. No, for real though, because at the end of the day, he's a man, and he knows. When I didn't have nothing to my name, Jameson, he made a way for me and my kids. I didn't have no money to get my kids no school clothes. I'm a spoiled brat. I can tell the world that because my parents still spoiled me. Shout out to my mama and daddy. But it was to a point that my mom, I knew she felt tired. Like, girl, you a spoiled little brat. You and your little sister, I didn't want to ask my mom no more. So I said, and Jameson could feel that. He could feel that around me. He was like, this girl don't act like she rich or nothing, but I know her parents, because I show him my lifestyle too, how I am. But he accepted it, even though, because I have to tell people, every girl, a lot of people, just because you're a church and you people, women of God or men of God, they think you cannot hang around gay people. But I love my gay friend. I love Jameson.
Too. First of all,
I love
him.
him. I love him so much that I pour into him. I pray for him. I pray that he gets a wife.
First of all, I love anybody that can stand in their truth.
Yeah, and so
unapologetic.
Jameson showed me to accept me for who I was as a friend. That's what make me love him so much as a friend. Now, when I get a husband, and I want my husband to understand that, that's a brother to me. That's not I'm not sleeping with him or nothing. But Jameson showed me what a friend should treat you when you broken and when you hurt and when you can't call on nobody. And I went through a really, really bad place and I was a bad friend for this, because my friend, and it hurts me, Marietta, she lost a parent. While we was on the trip, and I was being selfish, like, she was in a mental state, lost her mom, in a mental state. I'm thinking, she don't want to talk to me, this and that. I blow her up. I'm trying to go to her house, wanting to fight her, because she didn't tell me what was going on or nothing. She just stopped talking to me. Like, and it hurted my feelings from talking to you every day. and I'm at your house trying to help you going through that. But no ideal knew what she was going through. I didn't.
You made it about you.
And I made it about me at the time. And I can be honest because I'm an honest girl. I made it about me, and we lost God split us up. Like he split both of us up.
You wasn't a good friend.
I wasn't a good friend to her at the time. And she still say I am. She still says, Shabrittney, I should have never did that to you too. But in my mind, I was thinking about Shabrittney, not making it about her. But I can say this now. I sit there, I cussed her out. I sent this long, brief message to her. I hurt her feelings. I did all this type of stuff. And I look back at that situation. She contacted me. She was just like, she missed me because she could feel that I was hurting too. But in the midst of that, like you said, in the midst of that, I didn't have nobody. God has to like really, 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 really sit me down, take everything from me, snatch me from my head to my toes, clothes. I mean, I used the same hair for the whole month, the same wig. I know how to do hair, so I made it look nice. And Jameson came in my life and took me to a place where I would never. He showed me, like how you said you took a picture in the icebox. He showed me. I remember I used to wear girls' clothes to the club, other girls' clothes. Jameson took me shopping. He said, you would never wear nobody else's clothes.
Come on, Jameson.
No, like for real.
Tell Jameson I'm going to need him on the Conversations with a King series.
He showed me how to embrace myself as a young woman. He showed me how to make sure my kid's good, even if I'm not good.
Good, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because he always think about me and my kids. And I didn't know all my friends are phenomenal to me. They all done show me how to be what a friend looks like. I can't say nothing bad about none of them. But what I can say about a boy best friend, if he love you enough, he'll challenge you, and that's what he has done. A lot of celebrities know me because of Jameson. It's because Jameson posts me. He making his business to say, this is my bestie, this is my sister, I love her. Like I'm gonna put on, when I first, shout out to Fashion Nova, I got an outfit now. I'm doing a brand, I model for them now.
Okay.
And it's because of Farrah Franklin from Destiny's Child and Jameson.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because of these people looking at me as a real person, a real print. I never lie, and I get a lot of girls taking the joke of me being a little too nice, but y'all people know I was mean at first. People didn't know how that I got to this point. I went from brokenness to people throwing scars at me, lying on me, my family members. It was 2 times I didn't get along with none of my real sisters. I didn't want to be around them. I didn't want to have nothing to do with them. I allowed them to make me feel like I talked about them and stuff. It was just a lot, to the point that the person that I am now, I don't want to go back to that mean girl. I don't want to sit there and hate people. I don't want to do that, because hating people and doing all that to people, it's making you bitter. It's making you, when you heal and you give your whole entire life, and like I said, I still lack some things. I'm still going through, God is still working on me with some things, because sometimes I get in my own way and I get to thinking, well, God, why is this person in my life? Like, why do you got this person in my life like you? I questioned God, and I don't want to start.
He give you options. He give you the freedom
I don't
of
want
choice.
to be emotional right now, but you were sent to me. I told my friends, I said, she's like a little mini Oprah. Like, you remind me of that.
How many times have we heard me call Oprah on this?
I don't know.
I'm coming for your spot, girl. I'm glad you moved out the way.
I don't know who you from. No, I don't know you at all. But the way how you came,
you know
to
me, your vibe, the vibe.
It's because of God,
yeah.
And He sent people like that. And I told the girls that I'm doing the podcast with, we was all on the phone together, and I said, y'all, like, this lady is from God, like, for real, for real. I said, she's gonna be in my life for the rest of my life, and I know that because He sends people like you and other people to show me what He got for me, and only for me, you know. And I get around like a lot of girls, and they be mean to me because of other women loving me, but they don't know what I have to go through to get to this point. Right. For people to love on me like I love on them. So I want to thank you so much, for real, for loving me without even knowing me, because some people, don't know what you go through to get to this point. I had to really, really, really search myself because I didn't know how to love. I had low self-esteem. It was times that I just settled for men just because I had low self-esteem, or I lay down with that man because I had low self-esteem. But today, you can't pay me to lay down with nobody.
Girl.
You know what I'm saying?
I say that if people ask me about my exes, who is this man? I don't know that man. I never seen him before.
Right. And I get to this point, it was times that I had about 4 or 5 men a day. That was me, because I was so lost and I didn't know. But now that I'm healed, and I had, like, my mom, she's dead and gone. My real mom, she's dead and gone. But she always, the thing that I can really thank her for, in spite of her being mean to me and me not feeling love, is teaching me about God. Like, that's the most beautiful thing she could ever did to me, is teach me how to be God. Be God, like, even when people do me wrong. Because people done done me wrong, and I still treated them like how God treat me when I do him wrong. When I don't listen to God, or I don't do that type of stuff. And friends, I'm not, the friends that I have now, I wouldn't trade them for nothing. I won't take them for granted no more. I won't put them in a place where they have to feel like I'm not their friend behind their back and stuff, because I love them. I have a sister that, Becky is not my real sister, but she is my sister because God sent her to me. And I tell people all the time, that is my sister. Like, she don't look at me as a, like, you know.
Now, let me ask you this, because I know we can go all night.
Yes.
But for your friends, you have a good support system. Oh, God, something is in my eye. But for other women that are listening and watching that may be going through a season of self-doubt, because, you know, we could say we overcame, but we know that it's a journey.
Right.
You have to give yourself that pep talk every day, because it's so easy to go back to what we're
It
familiar
is.
with and be comfortable in that. But to grow, the growing pains is uncomfortable sometimes, because, you know, we have to change our peer groups or change our habits, or the people that we entertain, and sometimes cut off some family friends that family or friends that we love dearly, that we hold close. So for the women that's out there watching that might be going through a season of self-doubt, what could you tell to them?
I can tell you this, because this is what I had to go through. I had to really remove myself from everybody. That's the best thing, to remove yourself from everybody, because when you heal, when you get in a place where you healing, you can see what God is, who God wants in your life and who He don't. When you get to heal yourself, you can't do nothing if you're not healed.
Right.
You can't do nothing if you're not healed. If you're not set free and you're not healed, you can't do that. You can't be nobody's friend, that mama, nobody. You know, you just can't. So what helped me, and it's gonna help y'all too, is remove yourself from what's not like God, and get some soul searching and heal yourself. So when God heal you, you can be a friend, you can be a mom, you can be a wife, you can be a girlfriend, whatever it takes you could be, but heal you first.
I love that. So for those that are listening and watching, and they want to follow you on social media, what's your Instagram, girl?
You can follow me on Instagram, Shabrittney Williams. It's no nickname, y'all.
It's William Shabrittney.
Yes, it's @William_Shabrittney. That's on Instagram. Now on Facebook is my holy ground, y'all. I'm holy on there. I'm real holy, okay?
So y'all make sure y'all go and y'all hit that follow button.
Yes.
Make sure y'all follow the movement. She have links in her bio where you can see other places you can find her as well. And I want to remind you guys that we will be on the same time, same place next week. Make sure you follow the movement. We are on multiple platforms. You can find us on SoundCloud, Himalaya, YouTube, Third Coast TV, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify. We are everywhere, every platform that you can find a podcast on. We are there. And if you like what you hear or you like what you see and you want to come and join the Oustide the Box family, make sure you move on over to our YouTube page, Oustide the Box with Onney. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click that bell notification so you can be notified when new episodes are brought to you. We are growing and we are showing out. And if you'd like to come and sit on the couch with me and share your story, we are also casting. Send your EPK and press kit to otb.liveshow@gmail.com, and one of our casting directors will get back to you. And if you like the content, you like the professionalism, you yourself has been dreaming about starting your own podcast, you don't have to come sit on the couch with me. You can have your own show, become a podcast content creator right here at Onney Studios. Go to www.onneystudios.com, or you can contact 346-491-5315. Schedule your studio tour today and find out how you can bring your dream into fruition with Onney Studios. I want to thank you, Shabrittney, for coming, sharing your story, being transparent, letting me get all in your business, because a lot of women don't want to pull those layers back. They don't want to share the ugly parts of them. But you know what I tell people is, my brokenness is, I am not what I went through. But all of those broken, shattered pieces of me created a beautiful mosaic. And may my test be a testimony for a lot of women, and may your test be a testimony for a lot of women as well. And I hope that they are just as inspired as I am to just see where you came from and where you are now, and most importantly, where you're going. So keep doing what you're doing, keep showing up for yourself, keep accepting those invites into positive rooms that doesn't require you to shrink yourself, because you deserve to be on platforms where you can grow and sow into other people and be a testimony. So even though you may have had a dark past, you have a bright future ahead. And I just want to reinforce that to you and tell you thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you.
So you guys, this was a good show.
It was.
Y'all got to see me cry.
Me too.
Don't judge me.
I am a crybaby.
I am too. So we'll see you same time, same place next week. I'm your girl, Onney the CEO. You're now plugged in, tuned in, tapped in to Oustide the Box.